Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on my favorite ultimate dewy makeup products, all from the drugstore. I also wanted to put an emphasis on, for makeup to be looking dewy on the skin, it doesn't necessarily always have to be a cream or a liquid product or even something that's marketed as a dewy product. There are a few powder products in here and I'll really teach you how you can finagle them into getting a little bit more of a dewy, juicy finish on the skin. So let's get into it. So let's start off with primers, and this primer is the one that I really want to spotlight. It's the Revolution Glass Skin Primer. This is the ultimate dewy finish one. This is guaranteed to take even some of the most matte foundations and not only sheer them out, but give them a truly dewy finish. And depending on the amount that you use, you can really get more of like a glassy, dewy finish on the skin, or you can really have somewhere more between like a soft dew, soft satin finish. So you can also mix it in with foundations to ensure that it's as dewy as possible. But underneath the skin, you'll see as I'm blending it in, it just instantaneously gives you that glassy, glowy finish on the skin without being strobed. So this is also really wonderful if you have a lot of visible texture. It's not going to emphasize texture on the skin as much as something that has, you know, liquid luminizer or pearls throughout the product itself. This is amazing. I will forewarn you, because it does make products more dewy and more fluid, it's going to negate some of that longevity on certain products, but not in a way that your makeup's gonna be melting off your face or falling off your face. You just won't have as much wear time, so you'll probably have to do a little bit more touch-ups, you know, after a few hours, and set with a little bit of powder or a long wear setting spray. I do feel like mentioning some compromised longevity is worth mentioning. It's nothing that I think is going to ruin your day or ruin your makeup, but something that I feel like, in all fairness, should be noted. I do notice that sometimes my makeup doesn't last quite as long if I don't take the step of adding a long wear setting spray on top. As long as I properly set my makeup, I get a full day's wear just as I normally would. This is Revolution's Beam Light Strobe Cream, and it's in the shade Peach. This is a wonderful, very lightweight and very soft feeling on the skin. Like, it doesn't feel heavy or too thick or oily. It's a really nice, comfortable wearing moisturizer that you can pair underneath your makeup, and it's also got a built-in illuminator, so it really gives you this nice glowing strobe. Be forewarned, it does tend to emphasize a little bit of texture, so I don't really like to wear this necessarily when I have a lot of active breakouts. I just find it kind of emphasizes all the bits and bobs on the skin, but overall it's a really great prep step, especially if you do have a drier skin type. I like having that added benefit of the moisturizer built in and just giving me that immediate strobe and glow. It also smells like a tropical vacation. I really like the way that this smells, and I think it has such a nice, like, warm, peachy, golden glow. So it's very flattering, really nice for medium skin tones without making you look too icy or too washed out. Okay, so next I have a primer that I really wanted to compare to this one, so I'm gonna show it to you side by side so you can see what I mean. This is the Wet n Wild Glass Correct, and it's specifically in the shade Yellow. Now, what I really like about this one is it's a much more soft strobe. So when I have texture or, you know, little pimples that might be active, I do like how I still get a nice amount of illumination from this product without it emphasizing the texture or making it look any more obvious. So it's really lightweight. It still feels really nice and moisturizing on the skin too. I would definitely say it's a little bit more lightweight and less moisturizing than this one, but if you have an oilier skin type, you might actually prefer this one. But I really enjoy just how soft and natural this one looks on the skin. It's very easy to wear for day to day. So I really want to talk about this. As many of you know, the Revlon Photo Ready Skin Lights has been discontinued again. I am so over it. Like, that has been one of my favorite illuminators for so many years. It gets discontinued and then brought back and then discontinued and then brought back. I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm over it. I think there needs to be some respect and spotlight given to something that's remained consistent and been amazing. So the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion products, these are beautiful. They have a really customizable amount of strobe, so you can sheer them out or build them up, and they are extremely versatile. So you can wear these on their own, mixed into your makeup, on top of your makeup, or underneath your makeup. You can really do with these as you please. Gorgeous shades and tones. I tend to lean the most into 902, which is shade light, but then I also have 903, which is medium glow. These are beautiful. They will be now reigning supreme because Revlon Photo Ready Skin Lights, I can't deal with another discontinuation of that product. But L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, it has always been around and it stayed consistent, and we're gonna be championing this now because it's amazing. So these are wonderful. Definitely if you want not only, you know, a dewy looking skin, but you really want that noticeable amount of strobe and luminosity, the L'Oreal Lumi Glotions. Let's talk about some skin tints. So I know a lot of you have heard me rave and rave about this for as long as I've tried it for the first time. It's amazing. The L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum Skin Tint. So I don't have a custom shade in this line, so I actually mix the shades 3.4 and 5.6, which is light medium and medium tan. The nice thing about this product is that although it doesn't set down on the skin dewy per se, it has a really nice luminous finish. It feels feather lightweight on the skin. You really don't even feel like you have any type of makeup on your skin at all. It just feels so not there. Like, it just kind of feels like an invisible product on your skin. It looks really nice and healthy. It has buildable coverage. I really like how this will hide hyperpigmentation, redness, acne, all while feeling feather lightweight on the skin. Dewy girl approved. And then we're also going to talk about the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfectors. Again, I don't have a perfect match in this shade, in this line. So I mix the shade Fair Light, and which is number 00, and then number 2, which is medium. I do actually prefer having 2 shades of this product because then I can always ensure that I'm having a completely custom shade match, and it just blends in so much more seamlessly, because when I'm at like my tannest, if you will, I do use shade 2 exclusively. But for example, like today or the past few times I've been wearing it, I've been mixing in a lot of the shade Fair. Now what I really like about this is it's a really dewy, ultra strobed illuminator. Sets down quite dewy on my skin, so if you have a little bit more of an oilier skin type, probably going to want to use a little bit of powder with it. But I think that this actually provides my skin with such great coverage. I'm really impressed with how this is quite thin, and I don't want to use the word oily because it kind of feels slightly moussey as well. It has a unique whipped type of consistency to the formulation, but the coverage builds really nice on top of itself without like laying on top of the skin and getting thicker. It always looks really nice and natural. Now, let's say you don't want to buy any of those moisturizers or tinted skin tints or any of that. You want to use what you already have, and you have a bunch of matte or satin foundations, and you want to be able to transform them without having to purchase a bunch of new skin products. So what I would recommend for you, so like let's say this is your foundation and you just have a bunch of matte foundations. You're going to want the Glass Skin Primer because you can mix it in with your foundation or wear it underneath. And then you're going to want this. This is the NYX Total Control Pro Illuminator in Cool. This is essentially an extremely concentrated pigmented liquid illuminator to where the tiniest drop of the product is going to give you so much liquid illuminator you're not going to know what to do with yourself. This, in combination with this, you can transform any of your concealers, foundations, whatever it may be. You can instantly make them not only more dewy, but you can also add liquid illuminating pearls to the product to really give it a little bit more of a radiant shine versus just a dewy shine. So you don't necessarily need to go out and purchase new products. You can even use this product here to sheer out a foundation and make it a little bit less intense in terms of coverage. So these would be like my top picks for anybody trying to save some money and not really purchase like a liquid illuminator and then a skin tint and then all of that stuff. You can definitely get away by just using these, and they will transform your products. So in my opinion, there is one drugstore concealer that really rivals some of the best luxury concealers, and it always leaves you feeling so dewy and juicy and radiant, and it is the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. First thing I want to mention, not only is the formula of this concealer absolutely spectacular, but I love the doe foot on this. It's very plush and very soft and almost quite fuzzy and it just feels so velvety and so smooth on the under eyes. I absolutely love this for I absolutely love it for, you know, brightening up under my eyes, but also doing like a little bit of liquid highlighting. So I like taking it down, you know, the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, things like that. I like the way that this also, you know, draws light to the certain areas of the face where I want a little bit of added brightness, but it definitely conceals darkness, redness, hyperpigmentation. I wouldn't per se use it on acne because it can kind of bring that to light a little bit, but any acne spots that you have that are fully healed and not quite as raised, it will still help conceal that and, you know, hide any of the discoloration on the skin from that post-acne hyperpigmentation. But phenomenal. But this is literally like so good. Like, it is so good. If you are a dewy concealer lover and you haven't yet tried this, this is like the one thing that I'm like, what are you doing? Try this. It's great. I also really want to sandwich this part in here because I want to talk about proper setting and also utilizing the correct products to really maintain the radiant glow, but also properly set it so that you don't have, you know, as much makeup breakdown or makeup migration or just, you know, bordering the line of oiliness. So a really great traditional, easy to use powder that obviously is going to, you know, keep your makeup anchored in place a little bit longer, but also help keep that radiant glow is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I will not stop mentioning this. I think it is one of the best setting powders, drugstore or high-end. I think this is such a wonderful powder, especially if you are somebody that is, you know, concerned about keeping the luminous, glowy finish to your makeup, and you want to make sure that you also increase your makeup's longevity. This is finely milled and it has pearlescent, you know, pigments throughout the powder so that when your skin catches the light, you will see light bouncing and popping off of those high points of the skin. It is beautiful. It also has a slight blurring effect on the skin, so it does help disguise pores and things like that. But what a gem. And what a steal. So Halo Glow Setting Powder. Now this next one I want to talk about is definitely a different type of product. It took a little bit of a learning curve for me to get the hang of it. I've actually had it for, I think, like over a month now, and I haven't mentioned it yet because I could not figure out how to use it. And now that I know how to use it, I really like it. I have it on my face today. It's what I used to set my makeup, and I feel like you can still see, like, I do get a really nice dewy glow, but it also slightly mattifies the skin just a touch, but it doesn't look like powder, and that's why it's really a gem of a product. So this is the Revolution Blurring Balm. Now when you purchase this, it comes with a flat kind of like applicator sponge. I tried using that for a while. I noticed a lot of lifting, so then I tried using puffs. Same thing, I noticed a lot of lifting, and then I tried using my fingertips. Same thing, I was noticing makeup lifting. It was like taking the makeup off of the skin, and it was really bizarre, but I didn't want to give up on it because I think that a lot of people really do enjoy these types of makeup products, and this one I have found if you use a loose, dense brush, like something that's not super dense, just kind of like a light fluffy brush, and you really work the balm into the bristles of the brush and lightly tap it over the skin, you will see that the skin looks slightly more mattified, but it's translucent. And it's kind of crazy because it looks like your skin is powdered, but like it doesn't look like a powder. It's honestly, it's crazy. It really is really a cool, unique little product. So you can use this on top of your makeup or underneath your makeup as kind of like a priming step as well. I personally don't like it as a primer. It feels really heavy, so I like to use it strategically on the areas of the face where I want some extra setting. And I feel like it's just like a unique, cool little product because it's not actually a powder, but it performs like a powder without making your skin look powdered. So it's really wonderful. And then obviously we're going to be talking about some powder products, so like some powder blushes and bronzers, and the easiest way to get rid of the powdery finish on your skin and turn pretty much anything dewy and, you know, looking like it's a little bit more skin-like and just taking away that powder finish is to use a dewy setting spray. I love the one from Revolution. This is the Fix and Glow spray. Since I have gotten this, I'm consistently impressed with it. It performs identical to my iconic London setting spray that I love so much. And I genuinely do feel like this makes my makeup last longer. The Revolution setting spray that's like the mist in a can, the Super Fix. That really increases my makeup's longevity as well. But I will say, for being a dewy, luminous setting spray, I notice this makes my makeup last so much longer, and I can wear like powder blush, powder bronzer, and it takes away that powder finish, so it just instantaneously makes your makeup look dewy, even if it's not like a dewy product. So definitely an easy cheat in my opinion. Let's talk about bronzers, and I do want to say, I know first and foremost not everybody loves a cream bronzer, but if you do really want that like truly skin-like finish and you really do want the bronzer to look as dewy and realistic as possible, it is the way to go. And I feel like the best option has definitely been the Milani Cream to Powder Foundation. The reason that this is so ideal as a cream bronzer, if you will, is because it applies like a cream, so it's really easy to just glide over the skin and get a really nice, you know, even application and really control the product, but it sets down with more of a soft powder finish, not matte, but it doesn't look sticky and it doesn't stay sticky on the skin, so you really do, like I said, get the best of both worlds. It looks, you know, cream finish on the skin to where it looks like actual tanned skin, but it doesn't stay like sticky and dewy like a lot of other cream bronzers do. So because of that, I'm gonna say this is the most ideal. And I actually think it looks like way better than a lot of other cream bronzers. I just think it looks, there's something about it and the finish that it has on the skin is a little bit better than the rest. But I totally get it. If cream bronzer is just completely not your vibe, then keep in mind, use your dewy setting spray to top off a powder bronzer and you'll still have a little bit more of a juicier skin-like effect. But I have been so impressed with the L'Oreal Infallible bronzers. I love these. I actually brought these on a 3-day trip with me because these were the bronzers of choice, and I was like, these are the ones that I'm really reaching for and liking the most. So I do have 2 different shades. I have deep tan and then medium. Obsessed. When you run your finger over the product in the pan, you will be amazed at how much slip the product has to it. It feels so silky, so smooth, so buttery, so amazing. They blend into your skin so beautifully. Like, it is such a wonderfully elegant formulated bronzer, so finely milled, so creamy, so amazing. I can't put them down. So when it comes to blush, I feel like obviously we're all thinking cream blushes, and I do think that the one reigning supreme at the drugstore is definitely the e.l.f. putty blushes. I do like how there's like a good wide array of shades in this line, anywhere from like berries to more muted earthy tones, and then you also have a couple punchy shades as well. I think the product itself is also really nice, can be sheared out or really built up. And it's a very friendly finish formula. It's not dewy, like to the point that it's sticky or looking oily or greasy on the skin. It's just a very natural, soft, moisturized amount of dew on the skin. Because I know not everybody wants to wear cream, the thing I want to suggest to you is getting a really illuminating blush topper. So something like this one from Flower. This is the Warm Hibiscus blush, but I use it as a blush topper because it's really illuminating and it just kind of looks like straight up gold highlight if I wear it on its own. So for my demos, to really show you the way I like to wear this, you can either put it on top of a cream blush or a powder blush. If you want to put it on top of a powder blush, it's just going to give it a little bit more dimension, give it a little bit more light, and just make it reflect back some glowiness. Now we can talk highlighters. So I've already talked about this one countless times, so I won't bore you with it again, but I do think that this one is really special and it's a flat out dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light ones. The Flower Spotlight Liquid Highlighter, my personal favorite is in the shade Opal. I really like how this gives you a nice, soft, filtered glow on the skin. You can build it up if you want a little bit more of an intense strobe, but overall, sheared out, this is beautiful. And like I said, honestly, just as good as the one from Charlotte Tilbury. So definitely, if you're not wanting to splurge on the Charlotte Tilbury one, you can get this, and I think you will be completely just as satisfied. But this one is very exciting. Very dewy, glazed donut vibe. I am like seriously so impressed with this highlight. So these are from Revolution. These are the bright light highlighters. I've talked about these on TikTok before, but I don't think I've talked about them on my YouTube channel yet. These are what you want if you really like a glazed donut highlight. There's no other way I can put it. If you like that dewy, glazy type of finish on the skin, you will fall in love with this. And the unique thing about the way that this product is actually formulated is you can buff it into the skin on top of your makeup that you're already wearing, and there is no lifting. It does not disrupt the base underneath it. I do not know how that is even possible, but I buff these into my skin on top of bronzer, foundation, whatever I've already got on, and there's never any like visible patches on my skin. I have 2 shades that I mix together, so Strobe Champagne and then Radiance Bronze. Obsessed. If you like, just honestly get it. If you like that like Hailey Bieber type highlight, you need it. I know you'll love it. And the other thing I forgot to mention, these set down. They're budge proof. Like once they dry down to the skin, they don't move around, they don't feel sticky, so you get a dewy glow without feeling sticky or greasy. Alright, so those are all of my favorite ultimate dewy drugstore makeup products. I really hope that you found the demos and the swatches helpful. If you did, please let me know. Otherwise, if it's okay and it doesn't really make that much of a difference to you as a viewer, if I just show you the product on screen, like if the demos and swatches and stuff aren't really super helpful, then just let me know, because I could just do like the product shots for you. Whatever is the best for you, just let me know. But I will list and link everything in the description box down below for you, and I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you'd come follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, that'd be awesome. Let me know if there are any other drugstore beauty products that you're super interested in, and I'll see if I can get my hands on them. But other than that, I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye everyone.